Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. It is a great day here in Georgia. For those of you just joining us, we do a little bit of everything on this channel, including DIY, automotive, machining, and pinball. Pretty much you name it, we do it. But today is all about pinball, and we've got a special treat. So we got invited by Jason at Classic Game Rooms to come to the Avatar launch party. You actually got to stream doing an unboxing of the brand new Avatar and getting it set up and playing a few games on it. And boys and girls, I've got to tell you, it is pretty fantastic. So let's get to it. All right, so first I want to say this is not sponsored by any means, but Jason did invite me out from Classic Game Rooms, and I really appreciate that. And guys, he's the only person I use for any new unbox game. I don't want to use anybody else. Highly recommend him. Check him out at classicgamerooms.com. Check him out on Facebook, Classic Game Rooms. But let's talk about this game because we literally started from in the box, and I've got to say Jersey Jack does a fantastic job of packaging their games. Of course, they're making sure everything is very nicely covered so you don't have any scratching issues. All the armor's covered. The legs are individually wrapped. You get down to the playfield, they really do a really good job of making sure that their toys and mechs and things of that nature are packaged up with foam and things of that nature just to make sure they don't get damaged in shipping. You got to give it to them on that. Then we get into the actual game. Let's talk about the beauty of it. I mean, it is, pictures are one thing, but then seeing it in person is totally different. The game is stunning, absolutely stunning. The artwork, whether it's the side art or if you're talking about the playfield art, the whole game is just simply gorgeous. And then you tie in the beautiful light effects that Jersey Jack does. There is no one that does a more beautiful light show than Jersey Jack. It is a gorgeous game when you see those lights and all the RGBs just coming alive. Entire playfield light up and do crazy and amazing things. So you got to give them that. The artwork, for me, honestly, the artwork is a 10 out of 10. The RGB lighting show is a 10 out of 10. I don't know if you can get any better. And then talk about the UV being brought into it. It really, really brings the game and just immerses you into it. The way it's shot, honestly, I think everybody that was there really liked how the game shot. I mean, everybody I talked to seemed to really enjoy the way it shot. The only complaint that I think I say complaint, it wasn't a complaint. It was the only thing I think was kind of a good consensus. You're not going to just walk up to and instantly get it, because there's a lot in this game. There's a ton of modes. 22 modes, I believe, is what it is. I think it's 11 song chords in each. It's deep and immersive, but you don't, it's going to take some studying. I can understand the rules, but I never can really make the rules happen because I'm not that good with the ball handling skills. But this game, I tried looking over it a little bit as far as all the flow chart and stuff. And then when we got the game open, there was one in there and trying to study it. And it's like, holy crap, there's a lot to it. And it's just trying to figure out. To me, you're not going to be able to walk up to it and just instantly know what to do or figure out what to do. It's going to take a little bit of getting used to and trying to study it. It's going to take a little bit to figure it out. The game played smooth. We had a couple tweaks we had to do to it, but it was very minor tweaks that we had to do. Making sure make sure you get that game level side to side. We did set that one at 6.75 pitch. It didn't seem to be floated or anything. The only thing that we did too is we had to bump up the lower flippers a little bit, and I believe it was the upper right flipper we bumped up a tad on it to be able to. It just didn't feel like they were quite as powerful as we needed them to be initially out of the box. So that was that and the guide rail was the only thing we ever tweaked on it. But we put quite a few games on it yesterday, and really, I really enjoyed it. I thought it shot really good. You get down to the lower play fields. I know we were kind of mixed on that initially of how, what are we supposed to do, especially because, you've got two lower play fields. But you drop into the first one and you're hitting that paw bumper and you're basically trying to hit the lighted shot there. And I don't know if you're trying to hit all of them, because I never quite understood if you're trying to light every shot and hit every shot, or if you're just trying to hit one and then it would drop down to the lower play field. That was a weird experience to me because I haven't really played many games with lower play fields, but this one, it was just weird because it was so small. I'm so used to, I don't know, it felt a little weird, but it was really It was really kind of cool, and you don't drain the ball in that to a sense. You know, it kicks it back out for a little while. I mean, when you're time out, it eventually just locks the ball down. But you want to talk about, you know, assets that, you know, like I said before in some of my other videos, that is one thing that you are really getting with JJP. And like I said, I feel like there's only one other company that does better on assets, and that's Spooky. But when you get the assets, you're getting the full assets. And in this case, there was tons of video clips throughout the whole thing. Not to mention the immersive user interface in the back that had all of the stuff listed on there. You just got to figure out what everything means, but you had your song chord stuff set up. You had all your family, you know, showing how many of the family you had collected. There was a lot there. We got into, you know, both multi-balls. What is it? Hallelujah Mountains multi-ball and Awatlu. We got into those. Those were fun experiences. Really enjoyed those. It was just, we were trying to figure the game out because it's definitely a deep game. There's a lot going on to it and trying to figure out what you need to do and how you need to do it. But we really all enjoyed it. For now, I'll tell you, that mini left upper flipper, there are a couple things you got to note with that. One is if you hit that left ramp shot that goes up and drops to it, you better make sure you hit it with that left flipper, or else it's coming down the middle. Or you better at least hold it over so it shoots it over a little bit, because if it shoots up there, it drops, and comes down, every time we had it go down the middle. So that was like, you better make sure you remember to hit that thing, or at least to flip it over, something with that. Now, all the shots feel good in this game, feel really good. I will say the right flipper, the upper right flipper, we was looking at it, and I think there's really technically only one shot that you actually, maybe two shots you can hit from that, but there is a shot that you can only hit from that upper right flipper that's almost like a sneak in shot that goes, wraps back around. That's definitely a shot you can hit. And then the mini flipper on the left, there's one super, super tight shot, and I don't think any of us ever hit that shot. And I know I was trying to hit it, but it was really tight. You talk about getting into those multi-balls, and that just, I don't feel like they were overly bearing with like tons of multi-balls, but you still had some multi-balls that were relatively, I say easy to get, but they were relatively easy to get. I do know the one, I believe you just had the two stand-ups to hit, and then you start locking balls and you get that multi-ball. So there are some things for somebody that's new, doesn't understand pinball so much, can still get in there and enjoy and play the game. And when everything goes, you know, from the eclipse and stuff, where it does that, I mean, it is stunning, and starting to get that UV where you start seeing those flippers start glowing and stuff. Man, it's just a cool experience, because you go from this bright, beautiful play field with all these colors to all of a sudden you're getting dark, and then you're getting this wonderful glow that you just, well, there's only one other pinball machine that has it, at least I'm aware of, and that's Stranger Things, but it is such a cool experience. So I think the game is stunning. I really liked it. Really thought it was a good shooting game. I think it's going to take some time. It's not going to be something, if you want to try to understand the story and go through it, it's going to take a little bit of time. But I'm also not a good pinball player, and so to end this off, like I said, check out Classic Game Rooms if you're looking for a new game, even used games, even arcades. He's got it all. Give him a call. Check him out, classicgamerooms.com. Check him out on Facebook. Really glad he invited us out for that, because it really, man, it's given me a tough predicament to be in, because I really like that game. So it's got my wheels turning and figuring out how I'm going to end up getting it, because I really enjoyed it. So, and it's stunning, absolutely stunning. So if you got it on order, guys, you're going to love it. It's going to be a blast. And I believe it's going to be a pretty good keeper for a lot of you out there. And if you don't, well, hit Jason up at Classic Game Rooms. That's going to do it for this one, though. We'll catch you next time.